If you've never been to Dubai before, but you're in the process of planning a visit, you're coming here on vacation, or you're just interested in actually going and seeing Dubai, you've probably seen a lot of these Instagram stories, Instagram posts, TikToks, YouTube videos with people being all these like flashy places, doing all these like incredible things online. But let me just be the first person to break your world a little bit and tell you that the places that you read about online, that these like big tourist things, are actually super underwhelming. So in today's video, what I want to do is I want to show you the top 5 most overrated things, in my opinion at least, that Dubai has to offer. And newsflash for you, like a lot of these are tourist destinations, which is what you'll generally see on Instagram and TikTok. But as someone who's lived here for 9 months, I can just tell you that these things get old super quick. Like after, we're talking, you experience them one time or maybe even the first time, they're just kind of underwhelming. So let me just save you some time if you're here on vacation and talk to you about the top 5 most overrated things that Dubai actually has to offer. But before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Rasmus. I'm the owner of Minix. That's a performance marketing agency where we specialize in helping e-commerce brands scale through UGC videos and paid advertising. Also, if you end up liking this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. I would massively appreciate that. That will help me out a lot. And if you have any questions after watching this video, just make sure to leave them down below. I read all the comments on my videos and respond to all questions. So if there's anything you want to chat about, something you want answered, just leave it down below and I'll be happy to answer. But with that being said though, let's get straight into it. So the first thing on my list here is the fountains at Dubai Mall. So you've 100% seen this in the background of some Instagram post or some Instagram story. If you have any friends that's been to Dubai before, it's this like, fountain show, basically a big, almost like lake where they have these, it's like big water just spraying up basically. And so there's really 2 places where you can go and see it. You can either sit at some of the restaurants in Dubai Mall that has a view to the fountains, or on the opposite side of it, there's also a bunch of restaurants you can sit at and then actually look at the fountains. But let me just tell you, these things are not impressive at all, like not the slightest. So first things, actually why I find them truly annoying is that when you sit there and you want to watch it and you want to have a good time with your friends, before and during the show, there's this loud ass music that's just playing the entire time. I was there a couple months ago with a friend, like there was music playing almost all of the time. So when you're trying to like talk to your friends about, oh, if you think it looks amazing, which is the second point, like it really doesn't look that good at all. It's just like water spraying up. It's not really impressive. Like I know a couple of people who've been to Singapore and they also have a fountain show there, and they say that that is like a million times better than what the Dubai really has to offer. But the music they're playing there and like the noise from the actual water cannons or whatever it is so loud that like you can't even think a single thought, which is super annoying. So you're just kind of sitting there watching the show because you can't talk to any of your friends while it's going on. And there's some schedule to it. I don't know if it's like once every hour or something like that, but you're just kind of sitting there watching it. And the first time maybe you think it's super fun that you can get to see the fountain show, but then the second time rolls around, if you're having dinner and you're having drinks and something, you might be sitting there for like 3 hours, right? So the second time it rolls around, you're just kind of sitting there thinking, oh wait, I would really just like to get back into the conversation I just had with my friend, but you can't because the fountain's on, so there's music and there's these loud ass fucking water cannons just going off, so you can't even think a single thought. So like for those 2 main reasons, that's why I think it's like super overrated. Like it's about 3 things. Like it's just really not, first of all, impressive. It's loud music, and in general I think you could just be sitting at a bunch of different restaurants somewhere else in Dubai and have a much better time with your friends or family while you're having dinner. Now the second thing is actually Burj Khalifa. So if you don't know what Burj Khalifa is, that's the highest building in the world, the tallest building in the world, and they have this thing called Sky View or something like that. I'm not entirely sure what the name is, but you basically get into an elevator and get up to like 168th floor where you can then see over Dubai. Now there's this joke in Dubai because you can actually live in Burj Khalifa. They have apartments there as well. And so there's kind of this joke in Dubai that the only thing that's not good about Burj Khalifa is that you don't have the Burj Khalifa view. Because like what's pretty about Burj Khalifa is looking at it. Like it's a stunning building, right? Like it's super tall, it looks good on pictures as well, but when you're in it, you can't see it. So when you're on the 160 something floor, you actually can't see the building, right? The only thing you can see is like all the buildings basically surrounding it, and then you can see the desert. And like, if you want to see the desert, I would just recommend that you actually go to the desert instead to actually get the desert experience and, you know, ride ATVs, ride boogies, go on camels, and like have that whole experience, right? But like just being on the 160 something floor, having a view over Dubai is like, everyone has kind of done that at some point in their life. Like you've been at a touristy destination and been in a tall building, and so you can kind of see over the entire city. Like that's pretty much what it is. Like it's nothing special. You're just on a higher floor. I know it's something that you kind of just have to tick off your bucket list, but if you actually, you know, don't really care about being on 160th floor, I would say save the money and save the queue time, because there is always a massive queue unless you get like the fast track pass. You're just in a building, like bottom line, nothing really impressive about it. You can go to I don't know, bar 44 instead in the marina and have like a nice drink and still look over part of Dubai, or you know, you can go to a bunch of other places where, you know, a restaurant or a bar or something and actually, you know, get an experience out of it, do something instead of just, like, you're literally just walking for like half an hour and then you're like, you know what, I've been in a tall building before and that was it. So yeah, Burj Khalifa and like the whole look over the city thing, I honestly wouldn't recommend it. So the third thing here is JBR and the marina. So if you don't know what the marina and JBR is, marina is a man-made marina, basically, super famous. You've probably seen it in pictures or seen it on a map. It's this like crazy long, it's 10 kilometers around, and this is where I live as well. And then JBR is like the beach area basically associated with it. If you live on one side of the marina, you can literally just walk down for 5 minutes and you're there. So it's sort of like connected to one side of the marina. And the reason why I think it's kind of overrated, like if you want to go to the beach, for example, I would not recommend actually going to JBR because there's a bunch of tourists and it's not super big. So like JBR in and of itself is like 2 kilometers, but the part where you actually want to be at is less than a kilometer long, maybe 600, 700 meters, something like that. And if you want to go to the beach, there you can expect 1 million people to be there on a very, very small beach. And the restaurants in general in that area are not super fancy. Like whenever I'm there with friends, we're kind of always struggle to find somewhere to actually eat. There's only one place I like in JBR specifically, which is a place called Blah Blah, BLA. Sounds a little bit funny, but that's like a cool vibe, like a beach club type of thing. Some good food, some good drinks, but that's really like the only place that's nice. I feel like marina have a few spots to offer, but like if you've seen my video about living in the Dubai marina, I think you'll understand why I think it's a little bit overrated. Like it's literally just a circle almost, so you're kind of just like walking around IKEA. That's basically the vibe of it, but there's just a bunch of people, and you know, you can go into a restaurant or something, but yeah, in general, it's not super impressive. And if you like, you can't walk around the entire marina as well. So, you know, you just end up seeing one tiny little spot of the marina because you want to go to a restaurant or something, and that's it. Like, it's not a thing you would actually go see. It's a cool place to live because it's easy, it's convenient, everything is kind of nearby. But as a like tourist destination, I wouldn't really put JBR or the marina on there. I would maybe go to Blah Blah something to have like a lunch or a dinner or something if you want to go like party, have drinks, but that's pretty much it. Now the fourth thing on the list here is the Palm. So the thing about the Palm is it's a cool spot, and there is a couple of places that you can go to. Nobu by the beach, for example, at Atlantis Royal that just opened a couple months ago. Amazing place. Atlantis, the old Atlantis, which I guess it is now, where there's also a Nobu. Horrendous. I would not go there. We've been to that Nobu and it was like sitting in a cafeteria, honestly. But the thing about the Palm is that you don't actually know you're at the Palm when you're at the Palm. So if you look at the map, right, you see the Palm and you're like, oh, this is so pretty, right? It looks amazing. It must be stunning. But when you actually drive through the Palm, you literally just feel like you're driving in any other road, because there's just like one road going all the way down straight to Atlantis, and that's it. And then you like drive under a bridge, and then, you know, you're pretty much there. So like there's nothing really crazy to it, because unless you're at the very end of the palm, you can't really access any of the other like branches of the palm, for lack of better terms, because it's all gated communities. So there's really only one road you can go down to the end of the palm, and then you can visit a couple hotels. Royal Atlantis is very nice. I would probably recommend you go there. But when you're at the palm, you actually don't feel like you're at the palm, which is sort of the irony of it. And then, you know, there's just one long road at the end. I think it's a couple kilometers, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, it's not a place where we just go for a walk or something like that. There's some nice beaches, but yeah, it's like a little bit overrated, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't just go to the palm to go to the palm. I would go to Dubai Mall to see Dubai Mall, for example. The palm is not really like that. And then the last thing on the list here is renting exotic cars. And the only reason why I say that is because everyone here drives an exotic car to some extent. Like, yeah, I don't drive an exotic car, but there's so many that you would normally rent an exotic car to feel special, right? To stand out a little bit, but you just don't do that here. You'd basically be like any other guy trying to flex a little bit on Instagram, and everyone sees right through it here, because everyone drives an exotic car. Everyone can just go rent a Lambo for a couple $100 a day, or like $1,000 a day or something, you know, try and flex on Instagram. But it's not really impressive in Dubai. And honestly, for the local people living here, if you're someone renting an exotic car, you like, the first thing people are gonna think is like, okay, you're probably trying to flex and you probably suck at driving, because most people that actually rent these exotic cars suck at driving, or they drive just horrendously on the road, and people already drive bad enough on the road, so we don't need any more of those. But yeah, like, if you're going here to, you know, try and flex or like stand out in the crowd by renting a Lambo or something like that, you're not, because every single one here drives an exotic car. And just me going from my basement, my parking spot, and up to the ground floor to get out of my parking, I see like 7 or 8 or 9 different exotic cars. Like, there's 4 Lambos just on the ground floor alone, and then I know at B1, which is like the floor just below ground, there's another, like, there's a Ferrari, and there's a G63 as well. It's like, me just getting out of my parking, I see plenty of exotic cars. Like, no one's really gonna look unless you go to places like JBR or like very touristy areas. That's like where you're gonna get the looks. But other than all the touristy areas, you're not really gonna be standing out, because you will see 40 Lambos just going for a 2-hour drive in your Lambo. So yeah, those are like the top 5 most overrated things I think you can do in Dubai. I think there's a lot better options for there if you're going here to on vacation, to actually get a nice experience, still experience the Dubai lifestyle, but also just have a much better time and get more value for your money. But if you have any questions about this, I would love to answer. Just leave your comments down below and your questions down below, and I'll get right back to you. And if you ended up enjoying this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I would massively appreciate that. And then I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.